Hi guys, welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV, and this is the post-match fan show. I'm here with Amir, and we have just watched Tottenham Hotspur drill Aston Villa 4-0 at Villa Park. Before we get the callers on, Amir, we've had a little bit of time to think more about it. What was you mentioned maturity earlier on? What else really impressed you? You mentioned also as well how clinical we were. It was just from 1 to 11. It was just a top performance, wasn't it?
It really was. It really was. And the plaudits, they go to all the players, man for man. I think they did fantastically well.
Yeah.
And a big shout out to Ange Postecoglou, who outclassed Unai Emery today. Got it completely right. Tactically, subs, everything was on point. Fantastic.
Yeah, he definitely did. We've got Brian waiting to speak to us. I don't know if it's raining, but he's put his hood up. Brian, how are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. I've had to come outside the Scotland Yard. It's currently -2 and snowing. But I wanted to come on and have a chat about the tremendous performance today. How are you both?
Yes, mate, absolutely buzzing. Thanks so much for calling in. So, we talked a lot in the post-match kind of live reaction show about how it just felt like all of those players put in a minimum kind of 7 out of 10s, and it was so hard to find a man of the match. But, what are your major takeaways from the 4-0 victory?
So first of all, not in a million years did I see that performance, that scoreline, that complete domination. I was a million miles away from thinking we were going to see that. And it was just a breath of fresh air to see. It was kind of like watching the first 10 games of the season again.
It was.
That was proper handball. I think the biggest takeaway for me is it just goes to show what a difference it is when both Porro and Destiny are on the pitch, and how much difference it makes us. It transforms our game. When one of them are there, okay, if both of them are out, struggle to play our style of football. In the first half, I thought Porro was the better of the two, and in the second half, Destiny was like a bull in a china shop. He was absolutely incredible, and it was just great to see that level of confidence. And what a confidence booster this will be going forward.
Huge.
Magnificent from the boys.
Absolutely huge for us, Daigle. And I wanted to know from you, because we found it really hard to pick a man of the match from that one. There were so many candidates. Who for you stood out, Brian?
If I'm going to... it's so hard. I mean, first of all, let's just... One thing I will say. That cross from Pape Matar was a thing of beauty.
Yes, it was.
And something we haven't seen coming down the right wing in recent times. If I was to give it to anyone, I really want to try. I've backed Brennan all the way. And I think in the first half, he was our best forward player by a country mile. And he's got his goal again. And I think he had a really, really good game. So if I had to pick a player, it would be Brennan. If Van der Ven, unfortunately, hadn't picked his injury, he was just doing what Van der Ven does. We used to say last season with Harry Kane, and when he scored, it was just like Harry Kane doing Harry Kane things. Well, Van der Ven is just elite. He is just unstoppable. And let's hope it's not a bad injury. But I was very impressed with Radu when he finally came on and got the minutes. It was 0-0. It was a game where he had to be strong, and he did. I mean, like you said, boys, it's very, very hard to pick a man of the match when the performance was that good.
Yeah, Brian, actually, I've got a quote here from Postecoglou about Van der Ven's injury. He says, "I'm not sure he doesn't think it's anything too significant. So disappointing for him because he was outstanding again up until that point. Great for Radu to come in, his first significant game time in a big game, and I thought he handled it really well." I completely agree about Dragoshin, but that looks good that Van der Ven himself doesn't think it's that significant, because clearly he has had a significant hamstring one this season. Yeah. He would know better than most.
Yeah, completely. And do you know what, like you said, Barnaby, I was starting to wonder and worry when Dragoshin would get some minutes and get some game time to see what he's about. Unfortunately, he got it this way and he rose up to the challenge, but hearing that from Van der Ven is great news to hear, really. Let's just hope the scan results match what he feels.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, completely agree. And Brian, I've talked a lot, probably even last week on here, but also in my videos and stuff, about how excited I was to see us play against a team who were more going to come at us, press us, and leave spaces around the pitch. And so it happened exactly as I imagined it would. They just seemed like we had so much space in that central midfield all the time, and Madders was able to get on the ball, and as you mentioned, Porro and Destiny so key to that. But I thought Bissouma as well, in terms of taking the ball on the half turn and linking play between the centre halves and Maddison and Sarr, was impressive today.
Yeah, there was Barnaby, but also we had a couple of Villa fans here who came with Spurs fans, and they said that Unai Emery, from what they looked at, changed his tactics
He did.
to stop us getting forward. So we were all wondering, will Ange change his tactics to reflect Villa? And it ended up being the other way, and we punished them for it. But yeah, it looked that way. I don't think I've seen a team go to Villa and put it on them like that. And obviously, John McGinn, Jesus Christ, what a horrific foul that was. But yeah, Villa just didn't know how to live with us. I mean, first half they had the opportunity. Some of our passing at the back was a little bit sloppy in the first half. If there's any negatives, and this is like really trying to find something to critique.
Yeah.
Some of the passing was a little bit sceptical and wayward, but we rose to the challenge. But yeah, like you said, Barnaby, Villa just didn't know what to do with us, did they?
No, I didn't think so. And to be fair, Amir called it early in the first half. He said that Emery had changed his tactics to try and go for the draw, in essence, is what you were saying.
Yep. That was my feeling. Daigle. I thought that Emery seen this as a match, that if he can nick a point, it will all be in Villa's hands going forward, and they'll be able to nick that Champions League spot. So for me, apart from the players all having an amazing performance, for me it's so huge for Ange, who's come under a bit of criticism in some of the previous games where we've dropped a few points here and there. For him to outclass a manager of the level of Emery, does that show us that we're going in the right direction and that the future's bright at Spurs?
Do you know what? When we play that way, you've got to think, if you look at the positives right now, 4-0, a great attacking performance and a clean sheet.
Yep.
A win at a rival that we just had to. Nothing but a win was good enough to put a marker down for top four. The confidence and the swagger we played within that second half. I don't think the only negative I can take away from it was that Van der Ven went off injured. But like Barnaby just said, it looks like that could be just a precaution, which could be magnificent if it is. Yeah. So I can't find a negative thing to say about today's, but not one. It was everything you look at that. There is just positives to take from that game today. We were superb. Fair play to Ange. Whoever was criticising him, I just don't get it. I don't get it. And we move on. And like I said, this now gives the Tottenham Hotspur, the lads, to know that they've gone away. And don't forget, our last away win in the Premier League was Nottingham Forest before Christmas. So that monkey's off our back. It's just 10 out of 10 all round for me in every single department you look at it. Tottenham Hotspur today.
Yeah, I said it in the instant match reaction. Obviously, we've been talking a lot about this difficult run of games we've got in April. But I actually see those games as games where all those teams are going to come at us, and none of them are going to want to play us like that, because we do deal so well with the press of teams these days. With the caveat of when we've got all of those players together, that I think we're going to have a major say in that title race in those April games. I can see us winning a couple of those games, at least.
Oh, we've definitely, listen, by hook or by crook, we've got a hand in the title. We're the final destination of the title. And before this performance today, April was terrifying me, absolutely terrifying me with where we would finish. But after a performance like that, you've got to look at it and say, just bring it on. Because that was the Tottenham that we saw at the start of the season. And that was a marker to everyone to say, listen, Tottenham are coming back to the way we were playing football.
Yeah,
we've just got to keep the consistency now and just take that and build and move on and just get a bit of momentum now.
And based on what you were saying about the importance of Porro and Udogie, is it fair to say we should be looking at the very least a utility kind of player who can play right or left who can play it in that style in terms of one of the most important signings to make in the summer?
Without a question of a doubt. I mean, if you look at it as well, I think the stats show that when the back four, as in the first choice back four are there, I think we've actually only lost one game. And that was the Chelsea when everything started going tits up. It is vital because there is such a difference in our game when Barnaby, I couldn't agree with you more. A player that can play like a Destiny, like a Porro, obviously to try and find someone at that level is going to be hard. You're going to have to find someone with the data analytics which will back it up, but it's essential that we have some proper backup for them.
Or we just get Don Fabio to reach into his contacts book.
Yeah, get his Rolodex back out and start looking through. And like I said, what we've got to look at as well with transfers in the summer, the Euros are banked back in the middle, so this has got to get wrapped up early. Yeah. Everything's got to be done quick. We'll see. But Barnaby, completely agree. Fullbacks to cover these two are high up on the list.
Yeah. All right, Brian. Well, look, you look absolutely freezing, so I'm going to let you get back
inside. I am shaking.
Get inside, Brian.
Thanks so much for giving us a call, mate, and we'll speak to you again after next
Speak
week's win against
soon.
Fulham.
Always a pleasure. See you later on, guys.